Welcome to this week's episode of Jet Lag in the News. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy. First, let's go to business travel. Good news for business travelers, especially those flying to, from, or within the United States. The Federal Aviation Administration has ended mandated cuts in domestic flights at 40 major US airports as of Monday morning local time. However, there's still a shortage of air traffic controllers, although air traffic controllers are returning to work quickly with promise of full back pay and even a $10,000 bonus. Thanksgiving travel will not be impacted by the shutdown. Vistajet is a global aviation company where you charter a jet to fly between any 2 points with a pay for hours flown fare structure. Think of it as a very nice and expensive taxi with wings. Vistajet is partnering with Dr Peter Attia, a longevity medicine researcher, to make these jets as biologically friendly as possible to travellers. The interventions include jet lag-friendly lighting to support the circadian rhythm. Booking.com has nominated its best airports. Globally, the best airport is Dubai International Airport, while within the United States, it's Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Congratulations to both airports for their consistently high standards. We know that aircraft emissions are a significant contributing factor to greenhouse gas emissions. So how are organisations tracking in achieving sustainable travel? Progress is patchy, according to the Global Business Travel Association. Quote, despite progress, greater urgency is needed, said Delphine Millot, Senior Vice President, Advocacy and Sustainability for the Global Business Travel Association. After all that bad news, it's good to see some good news arrive on my desk. According to the Air Monitor 2026 report from American Express Global Business Travel, airfare prices are expected to remain stable through 2026, so there's some good news for business travellers. Now let's talk about sleep. Newly elected Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has raised concerns from sleep experts, having said that she only sleeps for 2 to 4 hours a night. The late British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher was another world leader who was also famous for sleeping just 4 hours a night. This prejudice against sleep among world leaders is not new. When Napoleon Bonaparte was asked how many hours sleep people need, he is said to have replied, quote, 6 for a man, 7 for a woman, 8 for a fool. Sleep scientists agree that for most people, 4 hours is inadequate and causes long-term health problems. Business travellers in particular, with jet lag combined with long hours of work when they travel, are at extreme risk, and many business travellers report being exhausted from returning from a trip. Now let's discuss research. In research out of Turkey, there seems to be a lot of research coming out of Turkey right now, so well done, Turkey. Researchers found a link between chronotype, specifically being a night owl, and obesity. In a face-to-face survey with 562 students aged 18 to 30 years, the researchers found that there was, quote, a positive relationship was found between eveningness, food cravings, hedonic hunger, and obesity. In an interview with cardiologist Dr Dmitry Yaranov, flying puts a strain on your heart. He stated, quote, when the cabin pressure drops, your oxygen levels fall. Your heart works harder to deliver the same oxygen it was providing earlier. Also, because the cabin air is drier, you lose water, which makes blood thicker. He's got some great advice for travellers, including staying hydrated and start drinking before you fly, skip salt, skip alcohol, stand or stretch every hour to keep the circulation flowing, and have a walk after landing. Over to sport.
Now, over to
I did a
sport,
series
and
of
I
Manchester
know a
United.
lot of sport this week.
Over to sport.
But
I did a series
one
of
thing I
Manchester
do have.
United were booed off the field in Malaysia after the team performed so poorly due to jet lag. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim had this to say, quote, of course the team is tired because we flew to Malaysia, and with the jet lag we had a game in difficult conditions. According to Hong Kong's coach Ashley Westwood, The team members of Manchester United would have preferred post-season rest over extra games and travel. In Spain, the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Commanders are competing in Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Both teams are in the same time zone, so there won't be any advantage or disadvantage for either team in terms of jet lag. Fiji Rugby Sevens are competing in Dubai. As head coach Osei Kolinisau says, quote, "It's going to take a long time for a player from Fiji to travel all the way to Dubai, and I know jet lag and the time difference. Fiji is in a round with South Africa, France, and Argentina. So best of luck to the Fijians playing in Dubai, especially overcoming all that jet lag." And finally, November is Australian Music Month, and I've been publishing a top 10 of my favourite Australian songs related to jet lag. I've just passed the halfway mark. Naturally, there's a jet lag theme, and let's see which artist will make it to number one. Naturally, there's a jet lag theme, and let's see which artist will make it to number. If you have any questions or want to know more about what I do, check out my website at www.jetlagguide.com.au. There's another book on the way, and you'll be the first to know when it's released. And that's this week's Jet Lag in the News. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy. Thank you for watching.